All right, everybody, welcome. This is Tellman Knutson. I haven't live streamed in a while, and I haven't multi-streamed in a while. Right now, I'm going out to like 5 different places on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter via StreamYard. And I kind of fell off my regular streaming game. And so I'm getting back on the horse. And today, what I wanted to do is talk to you about a story from quite a long time ago in my career. This is about the idea of what to do. What do you do if your income is stuck, right? If the amount of money that you make on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis is stuck or plateaued, especially at a time where prices are rising, things everywhere seem like they're getting more and more expensive, right? I know I'm spending more at the grocery store, and it's annoying. This is just the deal everywhere. Prices seem to be steadily going up. And what do you do if you're in a job and you get paid by the hour or you get paid salary? You're kind of stuck, right? You're kind of stuck. Your income is limited. You are, in effect, trading time for money. And I think I first learned about this idea of trading time for money. I think I first learned about it from Joshua Shafran, one of my earliest mentors. But if you have a job and you are spending a certain amount of time every day, every week, every month working on that job, and you're getting paid money for the time that you're spending, then you are trading time for money. And trading time for money in a standard job is the most common way we get stuck in this trap. There is a way out. I will share with you in detail in a moment. The second way that we get stuck in this trap is maybe you don't want to consider it a job. It's a freelancer, right? As a freelancer, you're on Upwork, you're a contractor. In most cases, you're still probably trading time for money. You have a certain dollar amount that you're willing to accept, and that's, you get paid roughly that amount for the time that you put in most situations. Then some of the more entrepreneurial folks out there, they start a side hustle, right? They start a business up on the side to make some extra money. And some people just set up another situation where they're still just trading time for money, and they're stuck, and they're working 5 different jobs. They're doing 5 different things, and but their income is still plateaued. It's still stuck, and there's no way to break out of that. So then some of us get a business that actually works, and the business is making money, and perhaps it's even growing. Yet at the rate that the business grows, the expenses grow for the business, and your income, whether you've been in business for 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, wherever you're at in your path, your income somewhere along the line gets stuck, right? Where you're still trading time for money. It might be more, but you're still trading time for money as an employee of that business. This is so common because most of us grow up with parents who trade time for money. And we're all taught to get jobs and be responsible and go to school to get better jobs so that we can make more money for the time that we're trading for our lives, right? And this is the trap. It's the time for money trap, and we all buy into it. And most of us who have, even if we have businesses and we have employees, we're still allowing our employees and the people on our team to trade their time for money, with us. And so it's a cycle that kind of perpetuates itself. So how can you actually break free? So I would love to hear in the comments, if you guys are in the time for money trap, or if you find yourself in the time for money trap, or what type of situation are you finding yourself in where your time is directly associated and connected to your money, right? So the problem with this, of course, is that we all have the same amount of time in the day, and we all get to choose how we spend our time. And unfortunately, it is finite, right? And we don't know when it's going to end. We all have a certain amount of time, and at some point it's going to run out. But at the end of the day, we all have a limited amount of time, and every 24 hours we have 24 hours, and we're only willing to set aside so much of that time to make money. If we're trading time for money, if there's a dollar amount associated with your time, then you're going to stay stuck there until you make a disconnect and you find a different way of making money in a way that's not attached to your finite amount of time. If you have a finite amount of time and you're trading time for money, you have a finite amount of money, and there's always going to be a cap, and you're going to be stuck under that cap forever. Okay, so let me know if this makes any sense. So how do you break free from trading time for money? That's the question. It's how do you break free? And there are actually several ways to break free, but there's only one way that I've broken free. And the way that I broke free was this idea of going from one to one to one to many. And the first person that I heard use that phrase, he probably learned it from someone else, I suspect, is Alex Mandossian, who taught me how to do teleseminars way back in the day. And so what I learned was that if you can associate your money with an asset that is not finite, that can continue to grow, you focus your skills, your time, and your effort and attention on growing the asset instead of trading that time for money. And so one way of doing this is investing in the stock market or investing in crypto if you're skilled and you know how to do this well, right? That's a way of focusing on growing the asset. Another way is real estate investing in a home or a rental unit or buying and selling real estate, right? Another way, the one to many way, is public speaking, right? Getting up on stage and becoming a public speaker and selling to the audience and selling to the stage and being able to go from make $100,000 for an hour long conversation, and where you don't really have a limit to the amount of money that you can make. Your limit is the size of the audience that you're able to build. And that is the key, my friends, is the size of the audience that you're able to build. The way that I broke free was by learning list building, by learning how to build. I went through 7 businesses that failed over and over and over and over and over and over and over until I finally got one that worked. And the one that really worked was my hypnotherapy practice. But I was still stuck trading time for money. I was still earning roughly $75 an hour, 5 to 8 sessions a day. I was working 6 days a week. And some days I would do 10, and some days I would do 10 sessions because I often give away free sessions. But I was making money. I was working my tail off, but I was making money. I was paying off debt, but I was still limited. I was severely limited in terms of time for money. And I couldn't really figure out how to break free at that point until I went online. And when I went online in 2003, one of the only ways that I could see to make money online way back then was by building an email list of followers, of subscribers, building an audience, building a following, building a tribe, building a group of people that wanted to hear from me, that wanted to learn the types of things that I was sharing, and that wanted to purchase the types of products and services that I was offering. And if I wasn't offering them, I found out what they wanted, and I found a way of hooking them up with it. And I made my first $1 million through affiliate marketing and through selling other people's products and services because I was a crappy copywriter. I didn't know how to write copy yet. I didn't have those skills. I didn't know how to, the funnels didn't exist. I didn't know how to build web pages. I didn't have, a good computer. All I had was gumption. And so I ended up building an email list. And so what changed is when I built an email list, at first it didn't make much money, right? The first few hundred people, the first couple thousand people, I was still just making a few $100 a month as I was figuring it out. But I could see that I was figuring it out. I could see that I was making progress. And sometimes we'd hit a home run and have like $1,000 day or something, right? And so what happened was the list got bigger, and we sent more emails to the list, and we tried more offers to the list, and we just tried all sorts of different things. We stayed focused on progress. We stayed focused on really looking at what types of products and services the list wanted to buy. And lo and behold, as I focused the attention every single day on building the list as the primary focus, and then taking care of the list, what ends up happening is that list bonds with you. They connect with you. They look at you as your leader. They look to you as a mentor, an advisor. And then when you offer a product or service to them, whether it's of your own creation or someone else's that you're endorsing, if it's the right type of products or service that helps solve the problem that you already know they have, you've built up enough trust and connection, or you know your market well enough to put a great offer in front of them, boom, now you make money. And the larger that list grows and the more connected and responsive it becomes to you and your story and your message and your care for it, the more money that list will make you. And at this point, your list is your income is no longer tied to the hours that you're putting in. It's tied to the size of your list. And the size of your list all is about how smart and persistent you are, right? That's not about the hours that you're putting in. So if you want to learn how to build an email list, for me, I failed after business, after business, after business as a real world serial entrepreneur until I built my first list in 2003. And from there, I did my first million online, built a multi-million-dollar online empire, and went on to start several other email-driven businesses over the years. If you want to learn how to build an email list yourself and you want help walking through that entire process, I would be more than happy to chat with you about what that might look like. So here's how it works. Number one is you got to get on my early bird list. Number two, there's a letter I wrote for you on the next page after you get on the early bird list. Be sure to join the Facebook group and book a call with me in the next 72 hours. You can go to the link down below my chin here, masscotland.com/early-bird. And that you have to type in the www. I don't know why you have to type in the www, but you do www.masscotland, masscotland.com/early-bird, and opt in there to the early bird list. Read the short letter that I wrote for you on the next page to make sure that you're the right type of person for building an email list and you have the right type of business to build an email list. And if it seems like right for you, go ahead and book a time with me on my calendar link below, and then fill out your intake form on the next page. What happened for me was, I ended up making $1 million from a little apartment, and it changed my life. It changed the way I looked at everything, and it created a situation. And by the way, I'm not going to tell you that building an email list is all like roses, right? There are challenges, and there's learning curve, and there's difficulties, and there's things that you can screw up like everything else. But one of the biggest things that it gives you is freedom. It gives you freedom from knowing that your income is no longer attached to the time that you're sacrificing to put into just making money. Okay, now your income is directly attached to your ability to serve your list. The better you get at it, the more money you make. Bottom line, that's how it works. So I would highly recommend that if you have a business and you have a passion and you have a message and you want to make more money, you want to break free from the only way that you can make money is trading your time for money, then consider maybe it's time to build an email list. And just to answer all the questions, we use all the social media tool platforms available as part of that process. It's not social media versus email. It's social media with email, specifically social media to feed email. So we'll talk about that more later. Point is, if you want to learn more, go join the early bird list, get on the early bird list at masscotland.com/early-bird. And if it seems right, book a call. In the meantime, if you have any questions about email marketing, about email list building, about how all this stuff works, please ask them in the comments below, and I will answer them in an upcoming video. All right, guys. Well, that is all for today. I'm going to check in with you again tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed today's broadcast, and I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. This is Tellman Knudsen, over and out. Enjoy your day. Toodles.